Hello everyone, my name is Kim. In today's video, I'm making rosemary soap. So I weighed all of the ingredients already. I melted my solids, which is the coconut oil and the shea butter. They're melted in this pan. And I'm not going to show you everything today. In my last video, when I made peppermint soap, I tried to show how I use and made peppermint soap. Today, I'm just going to make it. I will leave the recipe in the description box down below. I did a video on the tools also that's needed to make soap. So go back and watch that video. And as I say that, please subscribe, click the notification button, leave me a comment, and give me a thumbs up. That would be very useful and helpful to me. So, all of the solids are in the pan. Now I'm going to mix in my liquids. This is in the pan, again, is the coconut oil and shea butter, and it's melted. I'm going to mix in now the olive oil and mixing these liquids into the pan with the hot oils, because now it's an oil. It brings the temperature down. So once I merge all of the oils, and you want to try to get every drop. Once I merge all of the oils together, it should be the same temperature as, or close, because you don't have to have it, as I said before, don't have to be precise. The temperature should be around 110 to 130. Again, 110 to 130. Excuse my voice, it's a little raspy today. Next, I'm going to add in the sunflower oil. And again, you need a spatula so you can get every little bit out. Next is castor oil. And I'm going to add in, because this is rosemary soap, I'm going to add in some Australian clay, and the color is green. You can get there's a number of colors you can get if you want to make it blue. If you don't want to put it in at oil at all, that's okay too. But I'm going to add some in today. So because I've weighed all of the ingredients already, and I've also weighed this as well, this mixture here, and I use distilled water. You should use the distilled water even for your water and lye solution. So I'm going to mix that in as well. And then I'm going to take the spatula and mix. When you make this recipe, you will see that there may be like some little bubbles, would appear to be bubbles, or just the clay separating, because you have oils. You have the clay and water, and then you have you mix it into the oils. It creates a separation. So now I'm going to check my temperature. It's a little bit more, I tell you, every little bit. You don't have to be precise, but just seeing that little bit sitting there. All right, I'm going to check temperatures, and then I'm going to put on my safety gear. Okay. That's at 110. I'm going to check my water and lye solution. Okay, close. There are a few numbers off. This is at 110 and this is at 115. So I'm going to mix them together. I'm going to put on my safety gear. Now this time I did not strain. You should strain, but that's okay because when I was looking at the solution, it did look like it was mixed well. And that's what I did. I spent a lot of time mixing the water and lye solution prior to starting this video. So you mix that, and then I'm going to, I don't want you to hear I keep saying this oil, right? I don't want you to hear the blender, but I'm going to begin to blend. This is a great recipe for beginners. It's only a few ingredients, which is coconut oil. Your solids are coconut oil, shea butter, sunflower oil, and castor oil, and olive oil. A few ingredients. You don't have a lot. The biggest thing is the water and lye solution, just mixing that. And again, I said it in my other video, don't be fearful of using water and lye solution. As long as you have on long sleeves, your goggles, your gloves, and a mask, you'll be just fine. And make sure that you have your, if you have a back door, crack that back door, or if you have a fan, a ceiling fan, turn that fan on. Just have an area where it's ventilated. So I'm going to continue and I'm going to put you on pause so you won't hear the blender. Again, in my last video, when I made peppermint soap, I did share the details of the blending. I don't want to do that this time. So I'm going to blend and then I'm going to let you see the trace. So because of the clay, it took no time for a trace. If you can see, hopefully you can, it took no time for a trace. Again, this is a great, got the cord around my face. It's a great recipe for beginners. Great recipe for beginners because there's only a few steps. Again, this is rosemary soap. So I didn't have fresh rosemary. I have organic rosemary that I purchased from Trader Joe. I will leave all of the ingredients again in the description down below. And then this is my rosemary essential oil that I'm going to put in here. So because I have a trace, I'm going to take off the excess off the blender. And I recommend that, well, not recommend, I would say making your own soap again, you know the ingredients. Now, this is rosemary. I can use the same ingredients and make lavender soap. Instead of using rosemary oil, essential oil, I would use lavender oil, essential oil. Instead of using rosemary leaves that I chopped, I also chopped them. I could just don't put any type of, I don't have to put lavender in. I could just use the essential oil. So I'm gonna put this lavender in the sink. And I'm gonna continue to stir. Move this up some. I'm going to add the rosemary in. This is a great color. Wow. And it smells. I'm already smelling the rosemary. So putting it in the soap. Oh. And adding these ingredients, it gets, and I'm going to use the word or term, thicker, which is what you want. You want a trace. Oh, that smells delicious. Rosemary. So I'm going to keep stirring here for a little bit, just to break it up some. A trace. And here is the mold. This is the one, this is really my least favorite. I like to cut my soap out. I like to cut my soap out. Now this is peppermint soap, and this is also peppermint soap. I did not put any type of color in this one. I just used the peppermint itself. This is the last batch that I made. I just wanted to show this again. I made this batch, and then I made this one, I don't know, sometime last year. I made this one, this peppermint soap here. And I'm gonna pour now into the mold. Now I'm talking about, this is the one I like to use. I have another one, again, in my other video, you will see all of the tools that I like, that I mentioned to use. But this one and one other that I have, I'm gonna do a video on how to make a mold out of a cardboard box. If you don't think that this is going to be long term for you to make soap, or you just want to try, and in trying, instead of purchasing, you could just make a mold, which is, I suggest, a better way of doing it. You can make soap like twice a week, because we use the soap. I made so many bars of soap last year. I just showed you the peppermint soap. Let me move this to the side. We still have some left. So I'm gonna pour this into the mold. You're not gonna be able to see, and I'm not gonna pour it all in. But what I do want to do is I'm going to stop, because I do want to keep stirring. Adding the oils. I like it to be, it's thick, but it's not as thick as I like it. Now, if you could tell the difference, I made this one. And I'm going to take this out. I made this last week. And what I did with this one is this is the outcome. And you could take a potato peeler, and I'm not going to do it with this because it's still, I need to let it settle some more. And that's called cure. You have to let it cure for 4 to 6 weeks. I let mine go for 8 weeks. I just like for it to really be solid. So here you go. I'm gonna use this one, which is one that I made maybe about 2 weeks ago now. I believe I made the peppermint soap. And again, if you have not watched that video, go back and watch how I made peppermint soap. But yes, you can take the potato peeler, and let me move this out the way. Move that up. You take the potato peeler and you just do as so. Just take off the little edges. And that's what I will do with, that's what I will do with that soap when when it's cured, when it's solid. So the difference in this soap and the batch that I just made, and I just want to show you the difference, is the color. And I don't know if you can see that. I'll bring this a little bit closer. Is the color. And I don't know if you can see the difference, but there's a difference. That's because I put the clay in this one. And I did use a little bit of clay in here, but I put more because I wanted the color to be even deeper. So that's how you make soap. Great recipe. I will leave all of the ingredients in the description box, as well as the recipe. I want to give a shout out to Lovely Green Soap. She's been very instrumental in helping me on my journey to making soap. As a matter of fact, the ingredients that I use, some of it is her ingredients. I tweaked it a little bit, but she's been very helpful. I've been watching her for a long time, and I'll leave all of her information in the description box. I hope I was useful. I hope I was helpful. I hope I answered some of the questions or concerns that you may have had. Come along on this journey with me. Come along. Leave me a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Click the notification button for new videos that I'll be uploading. And again, I hope I was helpful. So see you next time.